tell us, we've all seen you training. Your trainer at the time, Adam Booth, was on high heels. Psychologically...
He always wears high heels.
Adam, well, psychologically, these guys tonight are facing people they don't know. You're facing a guy who just physically is that much bigger than you. How do you think about it?
The first thing you got to remember is I've been competing since I was 10 years old. So by the time I got to fight someone who was 7'2", it was, you know, I knew what to expect. But these guys here tonight, then it's the unexpected to them. They've got no clue what to expect. Their adrenaline's pumping. They've probably used up more energy in the lead up to the fight than they do when they're actually in here fighting. So it's all about mind over matter, and you got to give out a big respect to every single person who competes tonight, because it is a lonely place in there. You got nowhere to hide. Your friends and family are here, and you're putting it on the line. It's a really, really tough place to be.
Do you remember the first time you stepped into a boxing ring competitively? So you would have sparred, you would have prepared, but was there that moment that you stepped in and thought, I've got my doubts?
Yeah, I had a lot of fights as a kid, as a youngster, obviously having the scraps on the street and whatnot, but to have a competitive boxing match when you're in there with referees, with your family and friends sitting there, it puts an added pressure, an added stress and uncertainty to it. So for me, it was when I was about 10 years old, and it was tough, but it was definitely worthwhile. It was hard. I knocked the guy out in about 15 seconds, but you know, it led on to bigger and better things.
Ladies and gents, if I could just ask you to keep it down just a teeny bit. There's very few former world heavyweight champs in the house at the moment, so we can maybe learn a bit from David. Just briefly, you had a shoulder injury, I believe a rotator cuff injury. Are we going to see you back again? I know a lot of people have been talking about it. Where were you at the moment with that?
Yeah, I'll be back in the ring later on this year. I've been training for the last few months and feeling good, feeling strong, big, and looking forward to regaining the heavyweight championship again. You know, I had a bit of bad luck the last couple of years, but you know, every story has its ups and downs. They were my downs, so the ups are coming soon. So, you know, I've been a heavyweight champion and a cruiserweight champion before. You know, I can do it again. I know how to do it. I'm gonna get back out there and bring those titles back to Britain.
That's awesome. Just briefly, Chisora, he went obviously Audley. Well, he didn't turn up. And by the way, Audley, I fancy Audley, to be fair, in a boxing match. What I wanted to ask is, have you plotted your route forward? Have you got someone you want to fight? Tyson Fury, I know, was calling you out. I know that fight didn't happen. Do you want to go through him to get the world title?
Fury's got a fight against Vladimir Klitschko next. His next fight is scheduled for him. He's the mandatory for that title. If somehow he magically beats Klitschko, which is pretty much impossible, if he does, then that would be definitely something I'd be interested in. If he hasn't got a title, no, I don't really want to waste my time.
I can't help but ask you, the biggest fight in boxing history of all time is taking place in May. If you don't know, it's between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather in Las Vegas. Just give us your general views. I know it's a bit late for that fight. They're not at their prime, but how do you see that one working out?
I think both fighters are probably the best two fighters of my generation. They're absolutely fantastic. I've been to see both fighters live, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, multiple times. And it's when I see these guys in the ring performing, they're magic. You know, I've never seen either of them lose live. But Mayweather just has that edge. He's never been beaten before. He's never been knocked down heavily. You know, he's fresher. Manny Pacquiao, big fan of his style, love him to bits. But I just think Mayweather is just too polished, too good, too defensive, and will find a strategy to beat Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao has been knocked out in recent times. He's been beaten on points in recent times. So if you want to know what's going to happen in the future, you have to look in the past. In the past, Manny Pacquiao has lost. Mayweather hasn't.
You've managed to get through a Mayweather description without using the word slick, so congratulations. A final question for these guys who have come tonight to support breast cancer care. They're watching people take part in boxing. Is it for everyone, boxing? Would you recommend it? And what skills or what benefits are there to boxing if you haven't done it before?
I think people watching tonight should look at it and understand that it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard place to be. I believe they should introduce boxing in schools. You know, if you look at all the gun crime and the stabbings and the kids doing all kinds of crazes and the drug culture, if they had boxing in schools, it'll be a way to release the energy. It'd be all that. Because you get kids running around with so much pent-up energy, they don't know how to, you know, channel it. As we bring them to the boxing gym, it's a great way to you know, get kids to focus their craziness, which some of them are. And I definitely think that, you know, what these guys are doing tonight is fantastic. And everybody should do it as some part of their training routine. If just for health or just to stay healthy, go to your gym. You don't have to actually fight. You can go there, just do some boxercise class, do some type of boxing, because it's a good skill to learn. You never know when you might need to hit someone with a right hand.
That is a perfect opportunity for me to move slightly out of range and say, ladies and gents, a genuine privilege to have him in the house tonight, Mr. David Haye, ladies and gents.